Yeah. Hello, my fellow Patriots. This is Alex with a miserable attempt at going live tonight. I'm trying to get the bugs hammered out. Apparently, my StreamYard had a glitch, and it required me to completely restart my computer. Um, Give it a second. Let people realize that yes, I am actually live this time. Um, I had a wonderful show planned out for tonight, and now I have got all of my tabs that I had opened are now closed. I have to redo some stuff. Um, anyway, so I am here, and may just turn this into a see what's going on kind of thing. Um, so, all right, so I am here, double audio. Okay, just a second. All right, does that fix the double audio? Ugh. Um, hey Fred, is that good evening, B Neil? Is my audio corrected? Don't want the echo, echo, echo kind of thing. All right, so I had a lot of stuff pulled up, and it has all gone kind of poof because I had to restart. So this may be an attempt at redoing this show for next week. Um, just because I had a lot planned out, and Belinda is not going to be with me tonight. She's still dealing with the stuff with the hurricane. Hey, History B, good to see you. Going to do schoolwork while I listen. Well, I'm attempting to see if I could get my tabs recovered, but at this moment, it doesn't look like I'm going to get much. Um, it's kind of frustrating because you get all that research you do all the time, pulling down the headlines that you want to work with, and then you get a glitch like this, and you're back to square one. You got to start over. American Warhorse, what's happening? I like that name change. That's pretty good. That's, you are definitely American. You definitely a warhorse. But anyhow, so I don't think I'm going to do a long live. I just wanted to let you guys know what was going on. I'm going to be on Thursday with Fred. I hope if he's still interested in being on my show Thursday. Deplorable Bobby, hey, how you doing? Yeah, I'll be on the R-rated conservatives channel tomorrow night, and that should be interesting because, as you know, that's an adult only class or session, so it can be a little harsh for some people. But, so, anybody got anything you want to talk about tonight? Anybody want to come on and be on a panel tonight? I mean, we could turn it into that. We could just have a shoot the she yet kind of thing. Hey, Pete, it's been so long since I've seen you last. I mean, what was it, like 20 minutes ago? I mean, just time flies. Um, you're waiting to be asked on another channel. Well, you want to come on, Bobby? We could just do a very unusual and improvisation live show. Almost what? Almost 20 minutes. Okay, yeah, I got that. But all right, who's it going to be? You know what? Everybody's playing that shy thing, so um, nope, not that. We want that. And
Oh, I don't want to go on live TV because that's like scary, and I'm shy and I don't want to be seen. But
watch this. Pow! So there it is. That is the link. Who's it gonna be? George Washington's in the house. Good Lord! Everybody act busy. We have to impress the man. That is the man. You know what? Great Dirtbag, you want to come on my show? Got my link right there. Who's it gonna be? Step right up. Wow, not everybody at once. We can talk about anything you want to talk about. This can be just an absolute no coordination show whatsoever. Come on, somebody's going to do it. Who's it going to be? You got to get it before the link goes up. Who has stepped in? Deplorable Bobby, Sandra, and, well, welcome.
Hi.
Hello. How are
Nice to
ya?
see you this way. Hi,
Nice to
Bobby.
see you too.
Hey, how are you, Sandra?
I'm good. You can just call me Sam. I just figured I'd pop in for a minute and say hello.
Well,
Well,
that's
that's what I
kind
thought
of
I'd
neat.
do too. I just wanted to say hey to Alex and let him know that I'm supporting him.
Ah, bless you, brother.
Absolutely. That's what we do for each other,
Um,
right?
Well, we
I'm
have
yeah,
sorry, I'm
to.
on my
it,
phone.
yeah, it's was going to be an incredible show tonight. I had some really great headlines, but I'm gonna do a complete redo next Tuesday, and that way I'll be able to go through what I was going to go through. But I just figured since I had so many errors coming up that I'd go ahead and just at least get on and show people that I'm still alive and that the computer didn't take me out, and maybe get a chance to talk to some of my friendly patriot neighbors over here.
You can't
Well, that's
keep a good
fantastic,
person
Alex.
down.
It's always good to hear you,
Yep.
and it's always good to hear what you have to say. You and Belinda have a great show.
Yes,
Well,
we
thank you,
do.
brother. I'll tell you what we'll do. Deplorable Bobby, take a minute and tell the world about yourself, and you guys make sure you subscribe to Deplorable Bobby. But go ahead and tell them who you are, what you are, shoe size, maybe your neck size. I don't know. Whatever you want to tell them.
Well, there's not a whole lot to tell about me. I'm pretty. You can look right at me and you can see right through me. And
I thought you were looking a little translucent. You
but I
might want to
try to
add
be.
some beta carotene to the diet.
Oh, you have a ghost show, huh?
Well, what it amounts to is, you know, all I want to do is tell the truth, you know, and God's given me this platform and YouTube and all these great people here to where I can get my opinions out. My opinions may not mean anything to anybody. A lot of people don't like me. I have haters. I mean, there's a person in your chat tonight that just can't stand me, but that's okay with
Well,
me. I don't mind haters. If you have a problem with me, let me know. Maybe we can work it out. But the truth of the matter is, Alex, is I try to tell the truth, no matter who it hurts or who it helps.
yeah, well, truth can sting sometimes, and it's good medicine. But that's a good way to look at things. That's Deplorable Bobby, the way I see it, and you guys need to subscribe to him, help him out, check him out. He does some good news releases, and uh, nice to listen to. So, how about you, Sandra? How about giving us a little
Yeah.
update on who you are, what you are, and all of that? You don't have to give the shoe size. That was just a suggestion.
I'm glad. No, I'm a patron, long time. I'm in Connecticut. I want to start up my channel maybe sooner than later, but I was thinking like I have a poster board and everything. So when we come up with the elections this year, because I know my governor was installed and was not duly elected. And so I
Selected,
have,
not elected.
yes, thank you. Thank you. And Bobby, I have to tell you, I enjoy your show every time I go on it, and the same thing with you, Alex. So I want to thank you for this opportunity to even, come on and just say hello and introduce myself. And I plan on, just I am the only thing I'll take is for Jesus Christ. No, nobody
Amen.
else knows me,
Amen.
no nothing else. So, I'm going to keep up the good fight. It might be slower than I planned, but I'm going to do it. I had my fifth spinal surgery. I'm lucky I can walk because they told me I never would again. And
Bless your
so,
heart.
Well, I'm glad you got
I opened
through
up my
that.
eyes. Yep, I opened up my eyes. I got myself out of the wheelchair. I'm off the walker. I use a cane, and I opened up my eyes and I said, "Okay, it's good. I can get out of bed. It's even better."
Yeah.
So,
Well,
right
I
now,
encourage you. The more patriots we get out here speaking the truth to the corruption and the fake news and the manipulation that's used for trying to control the masses, we'll be much better off as we get that done. So I absolutely encourage you. God bless, and make sure you do it, because you'll have some people out here following you, and we'll support each other. That's what we do. So I'm glad to hear it.
well, I think, and I have a hardcore person who's been a part of the Democratic Party, or the Democrat, excuse me, the Democrat Party forever. And now she is voting for Trump, and she is being slowly red pilled by me. And and I'm like, yay, thank you, Jesus. Thank you for giving me the heart and the mind to to say the truth to her and that she's hearing it. Thank you.
Yeah,
So,
it's
you know,
difficult. I am the black sheep of my family. My mother pretty much has the same thinking as I do. Um, Most of my sisters just don't care, which is also a concern. But then I have a brother and a sister who think that I'm just flat crazy. So at least I know I'm effective. That's how. That's the first way you can tell you're doing it right, is when your own family tells you you're a nut and basically doesn't talk to you much. But as it happens, as things come forward, as the truth starts to get penetrated into the minds, more people will wake up. I guess the thing I always say is be patient with the people on the left, because uh, it's not our job to berate them and to scold them or to do the "I told you so" kind of stuff.
Yeah.
We need to be the understanding ones, because this manipulation's been happening um, pretty much full time since 1913, when they passed the Federal Reserve Act. That's when fake news was created, also to manipulate the minds and soften the blow for the theft that was going to be taking place for the next 100 years. So we just got to be patient.
You're right, Alex,
Alex,
and that's
I'm
the way
very
it's been. Like
crazy.
you said, since I'm sorry, Sandra, go ahead.
No, I stepped on you. I apologize. Please go. I'll speak after.
No, it's just like you said, Alex. This is what they've been doing since 1913, and they continue it every single day. It's a never-ending fight. It's a never-ending assault on America, and it's been that
Right.
way since the very beginning. And we, as American patriots, are going to have to one day get together and stand up as one person, as one people. And we're going to have to
That's
do what the
one big
demon
person.
rats are doing. They are united. The demon rats are united in their effort. And we have to be united as well.
Right. And I was listening to Douglas Ducote a while back in that same subject, and he says that, when we call a rally, we can't get very many people. And the reality of it is, we are put in this position to keep us from getting involved, because unless you're, in our case, retired or disabled or whatever, I have nothing but time. I don't have a lot of energy, but I have a lot of time. And
Yeah.
it's difficult to get working class people to mass in another location at a short period of time, because you have to arrange for being off work and everything that goes with that. So it's designed to keep us from getting involved. And until
Yeah,
we can
you're right.
figure out a loophole,
Yeah.
then we're pretty much stuck that way.
Well, I've noticed that we do have some nice, uh, I want to say younger people coming in, and they're being very proactive. You got Candace Owens, and you got Sam from Florida, and you got, there are some people that are coming in, and I refuse to let anybody um, let not keep me united, because I really do believe that we are united. We stand one nation under God, and it's that simple for me. I'm
Yeah,
a constitutionalist, and I believe in the Bill of Rights. And so I keep it really simple, and I keep the focus really simple. So I don't get, I'm not, I don't like hyperbole. I don't like all drama queeny things. I've just never been that way. I'm like, let's
Amen.
keep it real, do good as best as you can every single day, because you never know when that last breath is going to be there. And we all know that.
that's
And
right.
it's not just the elderly, it's also everybody in between, because we've seen what's going on, and it's ramping up, not getting less.
Well, let me ask you both a question. Sandra, I'll start with you. Have you always been red pilled, or did you come this way from another path?
Well, I always knew a lot, but I wouldn't say I was what we term as red pilled with the amount of insight and information I have now. But I've known for a very long time that there was something really not only wrong, but I saw it. And it's like somehow I had this truth Geiger counter in me, and it just
Hmm.
wavered too often.
Yeah, you get that beeping. You're trying to figure out where it's coming from. I understand that. How about you, Bobby?
Well, Alex, I'll be honest with you. I really didn't
Please
care.
do.
I really didn't care until I was in my 30s. I never voted. I thought nothing about politics, and I didn't care until I was 30 years old and I had a daughter. And then I had a second daughter. And then I had to think about them. And when I
Right,
started thinking about my kids and what they were going to grow up in, that's where I started thinking about politics and where everything is going, because where are my kids going to be in 30 years? And the
right,
way things were going then, that was back in the early 80s, 85, 87. Politics has been screwed up forever.
Yep.
And it
right.
just got worse and worse and worse. And I felt like I had to make a choice. Am I going to sit on the sidelines and let everybody make decisions for me? Or am I going to get proactive and try to make some things happen in my own community where my own daughters are involved in school and things like that? So that's where I got started. It was because of my daughters and my love for them and wanting them to have the same liberties I had growing up as a child. And that's where it all started.
Well,
I hear all
kids
the
have
time
that
about,
ability. Go ahead, Sandra.
I'm sorry. I was just going to
No,
say,
please.
I hear a lot of people saying, oh, I don't vote because it doesn't make a difference. I said, if it didn't make a difference, then they wouldn't spend millions of dollars to get it. I
Right.
mean,
Yeah,
it's quite that simple. Follow the money, honey. It's going to lead you right to the truth. And I think what it is just that people gave up a long time ago. And I'm like you, Bobby. It was my son, my now my grandson, and I don't want to be the generation that leaves them socialism, communism.
Amen.
right. Well, I totally agree. Me personally, I have never considered myself a party person because um, I've been pretty hip to the Constitution most of my life. I mean, from a very young age. I had my first business when I was 12 years old, so I was already dealing with taxes and government issues. I was doing landscape carpentry, putting decks around people's pools and doing drawings of landscaping and stuff. So I had to pull permits. I had to deal with zoning and stuff like that. So
Indoctrinated
I
really early.
watched. Well, absolutely.
Well,
I
Alex, I've
watched
never done
as.
this before. I hate to interrupt you, but I've never done this before on live stream. But since you lit one, I'm going to light one.
Hey, smoke
Oh,
them if you got them. Drink them if you got them too. I don't care. We're just sitting chatting. But no, I'd noticed the difference at a young age when a Republican would get into a position dealing with planning and zoning, and then I'd notice a change when a Democrat would get into planning and zoning, and it just I could always see the tug of war. So I never agreed with being a party affiliation. I consider myself a constitutional patriot. I have conservative beliefs. I mean, about the only thing that's socialist in me, just because of my father, is medicine. Um, I realize that medical for all is an extremely expensive proposition, but we spend trillions of dollars on wars, on foreign governments, on politicians, corruption in the political field. So we're not we're already spending the money. It could be brought back and used for the people. They need to work on the medical field. My father was a Navy physician, so the reason he joined the Navy was because he didn't feel like he should charge somebody to live or die. Um, he felt like it was his responsibility to heal them, and not his
yeah.
responsibility to make choices
Yep.
like that for people. So that's my socialism. But generally, I am across the board a constitutional patriot. Um, I did have to go ahead and register as a Republican here in Florida because they've got this stupid rule where you can't vote in
Yep.
primaries if you're not a party affiliate.
Yep.
So I had to become a Republican so that I could vote for DeSantis and for Matt Gaetz. But
Yeah. Good
I'm
votes.
not comfortable. Yeah, they're great people. Um,
Yeah.
Pick of the litter, I call them. But I'm not comfortable being a party affiliate because I know the game. Um,
Yep.
with the exception of some of the better guys that are in there, I think some of them run as party affiliation because they know that running as an independent, you wouldn't stand a chance anyway. So that's where I stand on it.
Well,
Yeah, I
today,
believe that there should not be any parties that a person should run one on one for on their credentials or their what they've done for the community, what they've done individually. We got to get rid of these parties because it really is a cosmic joke on us.
Well,
well, the thing
it's
is, it's
designed
not
to
really the
separate.
party. See, I don't
That's
have a
my
Yeah,
problem with the
point, Alex,
parties.
is that as soon as the forefathers did allow the Democrats to come in about 50 years after we fought this war, I say that was the moment they divided our country and they didn't even catch it at the time.
yeah. Well, the Democrats have been pissed at us since we took their slaves away, so there's not much we can do about that.
Well, you had the Northern Democrats and the Southern Democrats, and
Right.
they split. And half of the Democrat Party went to the Republican side, and thank God that was the end of slavery. But even today, I was talking to somebody that I love and is a good friend, and we were talking about President Trump. And I said, he's done a lot of good. He has, but he's
Right.
fallen way short on the Second Amendment and on several other issues. He's fallen
Yeah.
short. That's a fact. He's fallen short. He has not accomplished the things he told us in 2017 in January that he was going to do. And that's okay. I understand. But there's no reason to get angry because I call a spade a spade. I don't care if it's President Trump and I don't care if it's Hillary Clinton. If you're doing
Yeah. Well, I
something
mean, if
against our Constitution, if you're doing something against
absolutely.
the American patriots, such as the red flag laws, which he's backed up on, and I give him credit for that. But still, I, as an American voter and a patriot, I can call out those who are wrong, even if they are those that I support.
Of course,
Right.
that's what America's supposed to be about: free speech, the right to agree to disagree.
Well, I got hung
Hello,
up on because I said that. He hung up
that's
on me.
sad.
He says, I'm not going to talk anymore. Click. But there was no argument there. It's a simple fact. No one is totally good and righteous and perfect. Everybody's
Right.
going to screw up. And our president is nobody different.
He's
They're
a
human
human.
Right.
being and they do make bad choices. But sometimes, as the president, he knows a heck of a lot more than we do.
Yeah.
So
Right. Well,
maybe
here's the
he's
thing
making
also
his
about a
decisions
president.
logically, so we
Right.
can't condemn him, but we can call him out on certain things, sure.
Well, you
Right.
still
But
got
you
to stay
gotta
honest. You got to
remember,
stay honest, Bobby. Stay honest. Got to stay true.
yeah. Well, the president is the CEO of a corporation, the United States Corporation, and he has a team of managers, and just like any other store, you've got your levels of authority, and he is the CEO, but the managers below him are advising him and directing him and giving suggestion, and whether he takes the suggestion or not, that's up to him. But we just have to remember that he has a team that's feeding him information, and we just have to assume that he will ultimately use that team and get us in the right direction. And he's getting better at that. He's getting some of the deep state cronies out of there. Oh, lost Bobby. Um,
Uh-oh.
but anyway, yeah, he fell out there. But that was it was nice to talk to you, Bobby. I appreciate you coming on the show and saying hey, and we'll do it again sometime for sure. But
I hope so.
oh yeah. But anyhow, so is there? You don't have to run off, Sandra, if you don't want to. But if there anybody else in the chat that would want to come in and say hello and just
Oh,
tell us
come
a little
on.
bit
We're
about
not
yourself.
scary. We're not scary.
Well, I am a little bit, but it's mostly on my father's side.
You know,
Who's it going to be? Who else is in there?
come on, Pete.
Oh, Pete's been on here. He's already experienced the
Okay,
wrath
how
of
about the
me.
conservative patriot?
Well,
Come
where did
on,
he go? I
Robert.
don't know if he's even back in here. Who else is going to
You
be?
know,
Who's
Pete,
want to be
the
in
thing
here?
that bothers me about the red flag laws, quite honest, is my background, education, and work experience. I've worked inpatient and outpatient in psychology. And I've worked in psych hospitals, outpatient, in a couple of different areas. And these red flag laws, it saddens me because President Trump doesn't understand that, crazy is all about degrees. I think,
Right,
he doesn't get that. And it's very disturbing to me because we've seen the abuse of power on every level in every department that has any power in this country. And I don't trust
right,
anybody to make the decision on what degree of craziness I am that suits their personal hidden agendas or biases because they're
right.
human.
Just Florida Jim. I just threw the link up there, brother. Come on in if you want to come in and say hey for a minute. B. Neal, if you wanted to come in here, all you need to do is make sure that you either got Firefox or Chrome on your device, either your phone or your computer, and then you just hit that link. Yeah, I see you, Bobby. I figured that you had a technical issue and you'd probably come back on the next one. Let's see, people, you have to understand something about the red flag laws. If Trump does not take control of the situation, you will get something from Democrats and Rhino Republicans at the state level. Absolutely. Let's see. We got Florida Jim jumping in here. Hello
Anyway,
there to you, brother. How you doing?
All right, you caught me completely off guard. I was seeing Bobby dropped out of there, so I had to hurry up and turn on some lights here in the kitchen so you guys could see me.
Well,
hello,
thank God
good
you put some
evening.
clothes on.
Yeah, well, I had to do that for some time now because, well, when you get to a certain age, women don't want to see you naked anymore.
Right.
I'm not touching that one with a fine tooth comb.
That's the point he's making.
Hey, Jim.
There's
All
Bobby.
right. Well, here we go.
Hi, the
Now we're gonna have
Bobby
to.
back.
Yep, we got Bobby
coming
back.
in.
We got Warhorse.
Hey,
Now,
hello.
one thing that we'll have to recognize here is that everybody will have to be conscious of other people speaking, because all we'll do is turn into mush mouth
Talk over
and
each other,
nobody will
yeah.
hear anything. But
No
all right,
problem.
so let's do this way. Sandra, we've already had you introduce yourself. Bobby, you as well. Florida Jim, take a minute and tell everybody about yourself. What you
Hang
got
on.
going?
Can you guys still see me?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Okay. What was the question? I'm sorry, Alex.
Just, I want you to take a minute, tell everybody about yourself. If you got a channel, if you do anything on that sense, whatever you want to tell everybody.
I do have a channel out here on YouTube, Florida Jim, obviously. My channel at one point in time was going to be like you guys. I was going to come out here and do the ranting and the raving about how silly politics are, but I've backed away from that on my channel. Not that I don't agree with everything that you're all saying. I do 100%. I am 100% conservative to my very core. I am 100% on the Democratic side. I believe in President Trump. I love all that stuff. That's why I come and watch you guys. Myself personally, I can't do that to my channel all the time without going completely insane. I have to have fun because I find humor in everything. So that's why you're going to find a lot of my videos on my channel are going to be humor related, humor based. There's going to be a couple things in there about the idiotic abilities of the Democratic Party and whatnot, all that. But the basic line is hardcore conservative, hardcore believe in President Trump. I just can't go on and do that on my channel all the time. I hope you can understand that.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it takes some real ability to put up with this kind of stuff every day. I mean, in order to get the stories together for my show, I have to delve into some of the garbage that's thrown from the other side, and to be completely fair and accurate, I have to discuss both sides of the subject, and
Right, yeah.
sit and having to
Now-
listen to some of this garbage is very difficult sometimes. So
Well,
it does wear on you. Go ahead.
My problem is I get too passionately involved with things of trending news. If I had the ability and I had the audience behind me, I'm an old guy. I came from radio. Okay, I'm also a semi-retired truck driver, but radio has always been my first love. I've been on many mainstream radio shows out of Chicago, where I used to live. One in Nashville. I've had the opportunity to do, this kind of broadcasting where, hey, AOC did something stupid today. This person did something stupid today. Like I stated earlier, it's too much for me to take on because I'm too emotionally impacted by what I read. And as I've stated, if I come out there and I start ranting and raving, it's going to be a cuss fest. It's going to be F this, F that. Every other word is going to be, because that's how I am. I'm very compassionate, and I'm very, very into my subjects that I talk about. That's why I think I had to go the route of humor on my channel, just to keep myself sane. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, I mean, humor is necessary, and I've got humor. I'm more of a dry humor. I can basically insult with the best of them and put a smile on my face, and they never know they got insulted. So that's the kind of humor I do. But if you can't laugh, though, yeah, if you can't laugh and you can't laugh at yourself, then you're already defeated. So I laugh at myself all the time. Have you seen this face lately? I mean, there's some subject matter there.
Have you seen this one? Come on, feel sorry.
Yeah.
all the time.
All right. Well,
I love the laughter.
Well, that's a good thing. All right, Warhorse, take a minute and tell everybody about yourself. Since we're doing our introductory show, you like long walks on the beach, I understand.
Yes, I do. I love long walks on the beach. No, I'm a Navy vet. I'm a gun-toting Second Amendment supporter. I love my country. I love the folks that I have met in this group.
Well, we love you
And
back.
and it's been interesting. But yeah,
Oh, yeah.
that's uh, that's me in a nutshell. And
I always knew you were a little bit of a nut.
Oh, absolutely. No. I'm like, you know, oh yeah. What is it? What's the old saying?
And
A
something
couple of bricks short of a full
crazy.
load. Well,
I'm
I'm a
not
couple of bricks
completely
short of a full
nuts.
load, so you know,
I'm not completely nuts. I still have parts missing.
you know. Oh well, my nuts and bolts left. My nuts and bolts left a while ago. You know,
Yeah,
but it's all good.
I had a bunch
All good.
added.
Oh, yeah. Yes, you have. Yes, you have. If anybody has had parts added to them, you're like, what was that? What was that show back in the '70s? The Bionic Man. The only thing is
Yeah.
missing. The only thing is missing is your eye and the fact that your legs are not going to make you run 60 miles an hour.
And you can make that.
No,
You can make that sound with $6 million man. You start with the eye when you go. Boop, 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 boop.
right. Well, I always tell people.
When you hear the boop 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 boop.
Yep.
I always tell people that I have enough titanium shoved up my ass to build a Russian submarine. Because
Probably.
I do. I have
Probably.
got some hardware. But
I bet you're
they-
fun going
they
through an
put it in
airport
there.
with. You must be a lot
Well,
of fun going
here's-
through an airport with.
Here's a very interesting little tidbit that I don't know why it affects me, but I can go through a magnetron, which is the walkthrough. But if a wand is used on my back, it induces a current.
Oh, that's fun.
Oh,
That's fun.
Yeah. No, it actually
Oh.
really sucked the first time. So now,
yeah.
if I travel,
I think so.
No, it's fun.
yeah, it put me on my knees. I thought the guy hit me with the thing, but it literally made a lightning strike between my back and the wand. The problem is some of the bolts that I have are sticking just under the skin, so there's
Yeah.
no muscle over them. There's no protection of any kind. So when they throw that wand down my back, it just makes a little lightning bolt and sends me straight to my face.
Yeah. At which point you should reserve the right to stand back up and punch the guy in the face.
Exactly. Well, the first time it happened, this is actually pretty funny because it turned out I was going to an Army facility, and the guy that was holding the wand was a guy I had served with. So when he went down my back and hit me, I mean, I swear I felt like he punched me in the back. I went down to my face and jumped up to my feet and turned around and just like, what the hell, dude? And he looked like he had seen a ghost. I mean, he was standing there white as a sheet. And he's like, dude, I would never hit you, man. And I saw the lightning. It jumped off. It just sparked and it shot you. And it's like, oh, my God.
It literally
But
makes lightning.
You traumatized the
Yeah,
guy.
It made a visible electric static shock that he could
Yeah.
see from the wand to my back.
Yeah, because it's acting just like a cathode. In a battery setup, you have the anode
Yep.
and the cathode, and it acts just like that, and it goes zam. And it will light you up pretty good.
That's the rumor.
Well, no rumor to that. I'm sure you can.
You're right.
There ain't no rumor to that.
But then
But yeah,
I've been to a
that's
couple
how
of
it works.
courthouses.
But I don't have titanium in my back. But my back, I broke my back in '92. I fell out of a tree when I was a tree trimmer,
Oh,
and I shattered 3 more vertebrae in my back. That's why I'm having so many problems. And it's really gotten worse since we moved down to Florida. I don't know why. You'd think it'd get better, but in the last year or so that we've been down here in Florida, my back has just been an absolute wreck.
Well, that's a shame. But nobody told you ahead of time that you're not supposed to be jumping out of trees.
Jumping out of trees.
I wish it was something as simple as falling out of a tree. What it was I was it was my second day as a tree trimmer, as climber. I passed all my tests. I did groundman work for 6-8 months prior to that. I got myself in really good shape. Was out on the truck the second day as a class 2 trimmer. Went up the tree and started raining. The supervisor said, "Stay up in the tree." Well, rules for us to do that. I was coming down. I went to gaff. I gaffed out wrong. Down I went 60 feet.
Oh, I think
Straight down.
lost Bobby again. Hey, Nice
Oh.
Armory's here. Hey, Jim.
Jim.
I can't see any text.
Yeah, you guys probably can't see the chat, but
No, hi,
I
Jim.
can see it, so I can tell you that they're saying all kinds of mean and nasty things about
Oh,
you.
I
So
don't-
that's handy.
Are you kidding me? You said you were a magnet for the for that wand. Well, I'm a magnet for that sort of thing. You know, people talking smack and whatnot, but you know what? You know,
Yeah, right. Just get that dandruff off of there.
you know. But
Right.
so at least you didn't fall on your head, Florida Jim. You know. I mean,
No, but I couldn't walk. I couldn't walk unassisted in any form for 2 years.
yeah. I knew a
Yeah, I can
guy.
relate to that.
Well, I knew a guy. He's a painter. Does exquisite work, house painting and stuff like that. He fell off a railroad bridge, 30 feet, and he lived to tell the tale. I mean, onto concrete, and lived to tell the tale. Now, he's a little screwed up, but he still paints. He still paints.
Wow.
He's amazing. But yeah, 30 feet off a railroad bridge onto concrete, and he was jacked for, I think it was almost 2 years until he
Wow.
could get himself back together again.
Yeah,
So,
my
I have
Wow.
taken one fall. Well, I've actually taken a couple of falls.
It feels like a stack of Legos that are just constantly moving back there. It doesn't feel stable. I'm constantly losing my balance, and sleeping is just something I've forgotten even how to do anymore.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well,
And
it's
here's
miserable.
The worst part about it is when this first happened, I had insurance. Okay, I was covered for all my drugs and all that. Plus, it was a workman's comp thing. But since Obamacare has come into office, guess what's going on? Me and my wife
Wow,
always had
got
insurance.
that corrected.
Insurance until this Obamacare bullshit started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's more democratic unreasonability. We're going to charge people like me a fine for not having insurance. But when Jose Rodriguez jumps off the boat carrying his bag of tacos, he gets it for free. Here you go. How is that even fair?
Well, it's not designed to be fair. It's designed to be destructive. So
Well,
I understand that.
Well, I lost my job at the hospital and wound up having to be rehired as a contractor working for an outside company because we had been told, or hospitals, they have a professional magazine that goes around to the hospitals, kind of like, Journal of American Medicine and stuff like that. So about a year before Obamacare became reality, that professional magazine was already telling people to get rid of all of your support people like engineering, housekeeping, kitchen, all the rest of that stuff. Basically, if you didn't put these on a patient, they didn't want to have anything to do with you.
Well,
so I got
here's the
farmed
thing,
out.
though. This is what really surprises me, though, is that all that time that you were admitted on the psych ward, you still believe that was a job at the hospital.
Well, yeah, I mean,
even
that was
after all the therapy.
I couldn't help it, man. The reason that they sent me up to the psych ward, because I guess I fit in.
Oh, you could teach a few things around here.
I'm not touching it. I'm not touching it.
That's okay, because I will. No, they sent me up to the psych ward because apparently I was the only guy that was able to handle the situations. But no, but really, the misery not the misery, but the absolute destruction of supporting departments, especially engineering and the tech support people, it's going to take years, if not decades, to straighten out. Because they essentially got rid of all the experienced guys, brought in all these kids who didn't know, the business end of a hammer. Okay. And
that's the little rubber part at the bottom, right?
Right, exactly. Because they could pay them less. And remember, these are contracting companies, so they're in it for the buck.
Right.
And I ended up getting rehired as a contractor because I work a power plant, but still, It's me and one other guy right now who's been there for 38 years. Okay, it's just the two of us, along with three guys who don't know a hole in the ground. They don't know their head from a hole in the ground. And it's just the two of us keeping this place basically running, and the three people are there to keep it running for a little while, giving us a break so we can go home, get some sleep, and go right back at it. And it's like this all over the place. All over the place. It's not just
Yeah.
my hospital, it is everywhere. And
They're
that's the
going
end result.
private. They're going private. That's going to be another big thing, is because they're all slipping into the private sector, and that's
Yep.
not a good thing for everybody.
Well, I tell you what,
Well, that's the
it has
same
gotten to the
thing that happened with the prisons.
yeah. Well, it's actually gotten to the point where that my supervisor, who's the 38-year guy, my supervisor and myself, we're probably at the end of the trail because
Right.
we're going through
Uh-huh.
now a series of managers and directors, and it's chaos, and I can't function in
Yeah.
that kind of chaos for a prolonged period of time. It just gets to
Yeah,
be a
you
bit
come to
much.
this chaos instead.
Yeah, that's
In
exactly
the
what it
early
is.
'90s, my wife, before
Guys,
I met
I'm
her,
going to
she
slip
used
back
to work for
into
one of the
text
biggest
chat.
hospitals in northern Illinois. She was what was your
Hold
title?
on one
Hang on a
second,
second
Florida
there.
Jim. Hold on just 1 second. I'm sorry, Sandra, go ahead.
Oh,
What were you
never mind.
saying?
I just wanted to say I'm going to slip back into text chat. But it's
Okay.
been great
Well,
being up here with all of you. Hugs and support. God bless you, and
well,
I'll
thank you so
be in
much.
chat.
Take it
No,
easy,
All
thank
Sam.
right,
you.
we'll see you back. See you down there.
See you,
Okay,
Thanks a
see you
lot.
later,
God
Sam.
bless.
Okay, so Florida Jim, you were saying now.
Well, I was talking about how the hospitals have screwed the people who work for them. My wife, before I met her, when she graduated college, she worked for one of the top Northern Illinois hospitals. And I'm sorry, Lisa, what was your title again?
Financial management.
She was
budgets.
a financial manager of budgets. She would tell these doctors what machines they were going to get and not. This is before I met her. She was making damn good money. I mean, really good money. And as from the story she tells me, they basically said, hey, guess what? We're taking you all to the Bahamas or Jamaica or wherever the hell it was. Flew them all out there, showed them a great time, came back and gave them pink slips.
Leading the lambs to the slaughter.
And they hired,
Yeah,
like you said, they hired a bunch of idiot, wet behind the ears college kids who came in there and did no diddly squat, but they got them for $10,000, $20,000 cheaper per year.
Bingo.
Well, what about that situation with Disneyland or Disney World where they were forcing their people to train their replacements that were going to be paid half the price? Do you remember that story?
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah.
remember.
Yeah, they were told that if they didn't train their replacement, that they wouldn't get their separation pedants or whatever that was.
Well, you know
But
what you do then?
that
You
was
train
pure
them wrong.
blackmail.
You train them wrong.
Yeah, well, that's a good point. That would be the answer, I think.
Is an evil corporation. The mouse is an evil corporation.
Yeah. Oh, that thing's going to be wide open pretty soon.
I refuse to step one foot on Disney property. I refuse to buy Disney products. I refuse to watch Disney movies. I do not like Disney. I don't like Disney. I don't like what they stand for. I don't like the crap that they've done behind the backs of people. How they turn out these busted kids. Good example, Demi Lovato. She was a Disney star. She came out. They screwed with her. She suffered from being raped by producers and assistants, and she's got problems. She's screwed up in the head, and Disney turned a blind eye to her. It didn't happen. They did the same thing, with Britney Spears' younger sister, Jamie Lynn,
right,
when she got pregnant on that show. And then what do they do? Instead of downplaying the fact that you've got a teenager on a teenage-based show who's pregnant, no, we hype the fact that we have a teenager who's pregnant on a teenage show, and then we lie to the world and tell them, if you have a kid when you're a teenager, oh my God, your life is so wonderful.
They'll sell that bill of goods real quick. Yes, they will.
Well, they're trying to justify pedophilia and also cannibalism. They're trying to bring that into the forward a limelight so that people can be more comfortable with it. Um, it's it's actually pretty fascinating how they're trying to cover themselves before the. What now?
How can anybody be comfortable with cannibalism?
Well, if you are into ritualistic sacrifice and consumption of infants, then you would really want people to be on your side when that news comes out. So,
Well, here's this, Florida Jim. Hey, Jim, how do you boil a frog? How do you boil a frog? Okay, you don't drop the frog into the boiling water. You put the frog in the water and you turn up the heat real slow, right? Okay, if anybody can be susceptible to anything if you just give it in small doses, small doses, small doses. All of a sudden, now you got a cooked frog. Okay,
right.
That's how it works. As long as folks stay asleep, okay? As long as, I'm talking about distractions and all the rest. If you stay asleep, well, then that heat's going to be turned up, turned up, turned up. Let me ask you this. 10 years ago, 10 years ago, before this whole identity politics thing happened, could anybody have imagined we'd get away, that any of that would happen? Right? 10 years ago. No.
Well,
okay. What happened?
I can't be included in that because I've kind of been aware of some nasty stuff going on. So
you're different. You're different, Alex. I mean,
you're different, Alex.
You're different, Alex.
Yeah, I'm just like, you're just weird, dude. You're just like just weird. That's
you're just weird. But here's the thing: you turn up the heat slow. What do? Okay, here's another thing. Not to detract from the subject, but how are people going to learn about? They're talking about there's no such thing as social credit in this country. Okay, let me ask you something. When you turn on the TV and you see what is it? Progressive and State Farm, the little discount. Don't mess with my discount because they're going to get you to do behavior modification.
Yeah.
Okay,
right.
It's all about behavior modification. All right, so
I've never been good at behaving, so that doesn't work.
Well, yeah, it's not going to work with you and with me, but I'm talking about like regular folks. But anyway, but what do? They make it fun. Oh, don't mess with my discount. There's that one, the State Farm one, where the lady's freaking out every 10 seconds. But here's the thing: if you strip away the comedy and you look at it for real, that's all behavior modification. Now let's amp that up a little bit. Okay, the left has been systematically going after people who do business with certain people that they don't like. All right.
Hold on, just 1 second, Warhorse. Just a quick question from Jeff Brendo. It says, "Hey, Warhorse, what the heck do you do with the frog after it's boiled? Do you eat it?"
That's the idea. Frog legs for starters, which are not my thing. That's not my thing, but But yeah, I heard it tastes just like chicken, but I wouldn't know.
Let me tell you a really funny story here. But since we're on frog legs, we've jumped ship off the other subject. We're on frog legs. I guess. So, when I was young, my father was going through medical school, and when he graduated in 1979, he already had 3 of us kids, and he wanted to go celebrate the graduation dinner, and he wanted to go to this one restaurant, and they served frog legs, but he had waited until his graduation to do it because he wanted to do it, but he said, "I'm not going to do something that special until I get done with my schooling." Well, we went to the restaurant, and everybody ordered, and here was my dad. The guy comes up with a silver bowl with a bunch of little frog legs sticking out all the way around the thing. Well,
holy cow!
I am a absolute frog lover. I've been kissing toads, hoping for my princess for years, but my wife doesn't know that, so we won't talk about it. So, anyhow, I love frogs, and when my they set that bowl down on the table and on the other end, and I just happened to be directly across from him at the other end of the table. Well, he goes up with his first frog leg. getting ready to bite into it, and he made eye contact with me, and I was down at the other end of the table going. The tears started coming down my face, and my dad just kind of casually put the frog leg back into the pot and handed it back to the guy and says, "I'll take a cheeseburger."
There you go. There you go. But
It's a good thing you didn't love cows.
Yeah, no kidding.
Right. At least the hamburger doesn't look like a cow when it's served on the table. But the little frog legs with the 3 toes sticking up, going, "Oh,
Yeah.
help me!" You know, and
There's
that
actually
is
a
pretty
restaurant up in Genoa City, Wisconsin, called the Cow Mark Cafe. Their specialty is serving hamburgers that look like cows.
Oh, well, that would ruin a lot of people.
Yeah. But
The patty comes out like a little cow. It looks like a cow. It's
okay. What's wrong with that picture from Jump Street? Okay.
For one, the biggest problem is it's Wisconsin.
Okay.
Okay, I lived very close to Wisconsin for many decades, and there's some wackadoo people up in Wisconsin. Let me tell you.
I wouldn't doubt it. I served with a couple of people. I served with several guys who was from Wisconsin, and you think I'm short a couple of sandwiches for a full picnic? Okay.
Hey, I resemble that remark.
Wisconsin boys, they're not quite right upstairs.
What are we at? We're at 7:38 my time, 8:38 your time.
Yeah.
Other people's time, somebody's time. Who gives a damn?
8:38.
Anyway, so you guys are East Coast. I just wanted to take a minute. I think we need to go ahead and button this up so that we can free the airwaves for other people. We turned a relatively non-existent show because I was having so many problems into a pretty good one. I've got a chance to meet and chat with some good people here. Anyway, so I want to thank my mods. You guys are awesome. You do a great job, and appreciate everybody visiting us this evening, hanging out for a very nonchalant chit chat. And I want to thank all of my guests: Sandra, Bobby, Florida Jim, Warhorse. God bless you all. Appreciate you guys joining me here. And if you guys want to say something on the way out, then I'll sign us out.
Keep everybody in prayer who has been through this storm, who's looking at the storm, even though it's a Cat 2. It might drop a lot of rain, but we should be mindful of those who are first responders, military, the usual, doctors, nurses.
Yeah.
They have, and folks. And we should just be praying for folks in general. We really need to be praying for those folks in the Bahamas because they really, really caught it.
And they are not getting much from their government right now either, from what I understand.
Dude,
they're sort of being forgotten.
He doesn't have a lot to offer them.
Yeah, he really doesn't.
Right.
So that's my 2 cents.
But I just heard today on the news here. I'm in Pasco County. I'm just north of Tampa, Florida, and I just heard of 3 different places out here that are getting care packages already together and sending them down to the Bahamas. One guy has like 1,000 skids of supplies. And it's all out of his pocket and what volunteers that he can get. And so there are people helping. Awesome. There is help coming. I just saw a very nice story about a woman down there in the Bahamas who runs a animal shelter who has taken in 97, almost 100 dogs in her little apartment. And she's been posting pictures how they've gone through the floods, they've gone through the storms, they've gone through the wind, but her and all those 97 dogs are still kicking.
Excellent.
Awesome. Take a minute and take us out. Jim, if you have something else you want to say on the way out.
Not much, except for it's been fun. I thought you weren't going to have a show tonight because I was watching you earlier. You were having a lot of problem getting on. I guess you At
my age, it's hard to get it on anyway. But as far as the show goes, it was Streamlab. As soon as I went live, everything just went, So it's just one of those things. But
now you're using HughesNet, right?
I know I was, but oh my God, that was ridiculous. I'm on what is our satellite? Viasat. We're on Viasat. That's actually a pretty good company. Yeah. But I had to turn off my computer and reboot it and all this other because my camera wouldn't turn off once it turned on. My microphone was starting to whistle, and I mean, it was a real party over here. But
What part of Florida are you
once I
in?
did that, I live up in the Panhandle outside of Pensacola, home of the Blue Angels.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
we
down.
love our Blues. Yeah, I like that area. Homosassa is probably my favorite place in Florida, and Crystal River.
Still south of Homosassa.
Yeah. All right. Well, with that, I'm going to say thank you all very, very much. And we will see you guys next time. And we will be live on Thursday night with Fred Knott. He's ducked into
Yeah,
the hiding
Fred.
position
Ready, boy.
on the chat
Yeah,
somewhere.
Fred.
We're getting him Thursday.
Good.
And also, at the close of Thursday night's show, I have a huge announcement for the following Thursday. And there's my teaser. But that's all I'm going to say. But anyway, y'all, stay in the fight.
Will do.